At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news. At TVC News.
Yes, indeed. The TVC News, first with breaking news. I'm joined by Dennis Amakri, MON, is former Assistant Director, State Security Service. Thank you for staying the course on the program this morning. So you hear America say, we don't negotiate with terrorists. And that's more like a slogan, but they say we're not America. And the most important thing is getting the voice back. But let's talk about the implication of negotiating with terrorists.
Yeah.
You know, Reverend Dominic made a very fantastic point by saying, what have we done to ensure that this doesn't happen again? If boys were rescued, who were they rescued from? Where were they rescued from? I mean, are we just going to allow them go away with that crime?
Yeah.
What would you consider the implication of this?
A lot of implications. And, you know, let me make one thing very, very clear. Governments do negotiate. Even individuals negotiate. When kidnapping happens, the next step is to negotiate, you know, and governments will negotiate either for the release of their people.
Permit me to just hold it for a minute.
Yeah.
You know, there are kind of no people who want to be a part of the program.
Okay.
Please hold that thought. We're going to return to it. Elder Olabi has called in from Ikare in Odo State. Good morning, Elder. Good morning. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay.
Yes, please go ahead with your contribution.
Good morning, brother.
Good morning.
I'm Eda Solomon Olabi from Ikare on the state.
All right, go ahead, please. You have just a few minutes.
I want to say something. Our governors in Nigeria, many a time they complain that they are the chief security of their various states, but they don't have the control over the securities of their states. And this, some of those things that cause problem in this country. I want to ask a brother, what is the status quo that the federal government should allow the state government to take control of the security of their states? And I think this is one of the problems that is causing this insecurity, because this is always the complaint from all the governors in this country. They are the governors, but the security is not in their hand.
It's all right. Thank you very much for your contribution. I think you made your point. We'll get back to that question very quickly. So you were saying that after abduction,
the next process is negotiation. And negotiation will go on until a settlement is reached. Now, the reason why Americans, they tell you that they will not pay ransom, not that they will not negotiate, because they've negotiated many times.
Absolutely.
You know, there was this sergeant, you know, that was released. It was through negotiation. Sometimes it's done through third parties. You know, Israel even negotiated to get a dead body out. You know, a soldier and another dead soldier. They negotiated to get him out. And they released almost about thousands of soldiers to the Egyptians. Then, so you find out that negotiation, yes. Ransom, no. And I don't believe in this ransom thing, because we're either negotiating with them to say, okay, we have about 20 Boko Haram commanders, let's give them to them and then take our girls back. Not money. Because immediately you give money to a terrorist, what does it do? You know, he will go and buy more arms. And then, of course, you sponsor them.
More or less have empowered him.
You've empowered him, you know, so we should stay away from giving money to them. We can get negotiators. There are professional negotiators that will negotiate and then see that, yes, you also have your own people, and we can give it to you. We can negotiate on different things. You need food or something. Okay, we can look at that, or medicine or something. Then you release our people, we give you something, not money. Because when you give them money, we know the consequences.
So we also understand the value of life. So if the terrorists insist on money, the argument or the logic will be, oh, well, we can't afford to lose this number of children. So we are boxed into a corner. After all, we don't know where they are and we cannot defeat them.
One thing that people don't understand about kidnap and ransom is that kidnappers will not kill their victims easily. They don't. Because that's their meal ticket. That's their meal ticket. That's what they use in negotiating. And when we're negotiating, we can say, okay, fine, we need proof of life. And if we cannot see proof of life, that negotiation is off. Because also they need the money, or they need to get some kind of settlement, and then we have to also put them on pressure. But when they're there and the families are pushing you and say, oh, we want our children back and everything, the federal government goes into that negotiation on a very, very, not with strength, but with weakness.
Ayeni has called in from Surulere. Good morning, Ayeni.
Good morning, Mr. Presenter.
Mr. Ayeni, you're welcome. That's quite funny.
Mr. Dennis there.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Please, I want to talk about the security issue in Lagos State.
All right.
Because all these area boys have literally taken over Lagos State. And the negotiations can barely sleep with their eyes closed now. Because anything from 6 in the evening, 7, you see people running around. Even the mere hearing of Banga, people are so apprehensive maybe it is gone or not. I don't know. I don't know what Lagos State government is doing about all these guys now. If you call policemen, they will not even answer you. And we barely see opponents are outside again. People are just leaving their hearts in their hand now. So I don't know, maybe you can, the station can help us call on Lagos State government that they should do something. At least other states, southwestern states, the Amotekun are even taking over the security issue. What is happening in Lagos?
Okay, I think you made your point, and it's a very relevant one. A few weeks ago, I was in traffic along the Oshodi route, and then these guys came knocking on the car. I said they were going to break the side mirror. So I was under pressure. My wife was seated, heavily pregnant, and so I just took some money and gave it to them. That was my undoing. They got the money and said, oh, how much is this? How much is it? You know, forced themselves into the car, took our phones, and walked away. And, you know, what's really amazed me the most was the way they walked away. They walked away with the phone everyone just what I mean, they were so helpless and terrified. And then you wonder, is this Lagos? I mean, this is supposed to be the mega city. What can we do? What is happening here?
I think the police is still under shock. You know, the police.
But this had happened. I have a colleague who had a similar experience on that same route long before the NSAS protest.
Many. In fact, there are some other of your colleagues in TVC here who had a problem just around the airport Oshodi road there. And it's been happening in different black spots, what the police call black spots. But I think they are still under shock from what happens in NSAS. You know, the NSAS people were actually there even protesting for the police. You know, and then of course, when these touts were introduced into the protest, or when they came in and overtook everything, the police station started being burned down. Policemen were killed and stuff like that. So I think the Commissioner of Police, you know, he is very, very enthusiastic. And I hope that he will bring his men back, because they are still in shock. You know, get them out, let them overcome that shock and go back to work, because Lagos, you cannot afford to play with the security of Lagos. And the governor is ready to do anything to make sure that, you know, there is security for everybody.
Elder Olabi mentioned earlier about the fact that state government needs to take control of security in their state. And
very good.
The fact that the federal government should allow them. You know, what comes to mind most times is the security vote. And then you're wondering, well, there's a lot of money to fight security. What is holding them back from spending the money?
You know, Serap has already said that, you know, the president should make the governors to bring out the security votes they've been getting. You know, a lot of money, you know. And they need to list it and then let them, of course, account for it. Because, you see, they say security votes or security budgets are not for public consumption. But at the same time, you have this money, and to some governors, I think it's their pocket money. You know, because, okay, some will go and buy hillocks and everything for police, commissioner, SSS, immigration, if they are in the border, and stuff like that, and that's it. But the money comes in every month, and it's a lot of money.
Or maybe there is a limit to which you can spend it.
No, nobody has ever audited it.
Let's take Yusuf's call from Abuja. Good morning, Yusuf. Oh, I think we lost that call. Keep trying. We apologize for keeping you waiting for so long. So we saw a situation where people would say what the police experienced was a reflection of the lack of trust that the people have in them. But it's very relative, because when the protest began, part of it was for the police. We need to pay them more. We need to train them. Do we really understand what happened? Was it just a fraction of the community that turned against the police, or indeed the police did not have the people?
Okay, there's a trust deficit that exists between police and the citizenry, you know. And then, of course, when they were still saying that police should be well paid, they were also saying that police should be restructured, because the police we know are not giving us the kind of service that we require, you know. So either you go ahead and get state police, and then, you know, dismantle the unitary system that we are in right now. And then, of course, that will come with a different orientation, because the orientation now is you and us, you know. That's the way they look at you. We want police to be part of what we are all police.
Absolutely.
Okay?
We'll get back to that. Let's take this conversation to Kaduna. Good morning, Ibrahim.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome. Go ahead with your contribution.
Thank you so much. You see, the issue of security in this country, all of us, as Nigeria, we need to put our heads into one basket.
Yep.
You see, most of us that grew up in the village, and we're privileged to find ourselves in the city today. Most of all these overwhelming privileged human beings today, we find in the Senate, governors and the rest, they all come from the village. But when they come to the town, they forget about this. They come about the village where they come from. And you see, security today have taken over every place, not just in the village. There in the city are not safe. Our school, in fact, we need to take a consequently accurate and pay attention to the school in the village, because it's open. And same thing now, this that is happening in the town, we think that only the village that they have security. No place in Nigeria is secure. Please, we need to do something very well, not just the president or the governor. We as an individual people, we need to do something. That is my concern, because anytime I'm passing through any city, going down to some villages, pass through some villages, I will ask yourself, is this living a secondary school or primary school or even a tertiary? Some are not even friends. But notwithstanding, please, the security people, police, we are shortage of security personnel.
All right, thank you very much, Ibrahim, for your contribution from Kaduna. So they say security and welfare, you know, both are the primary responsibility of government. But Ibrahim is also saying that the people have to do something. And we've also had security, you know, operatives say we need the people to give us that intelligence to work with.
Yes.
Unfortunately, there isn't much trust between the people and
the
men of the uniform, because you tell someone, go and report to the police, and then they look at you like, really? So how do we, you know, deal with this?
I think, like I said earlier, you know, there should be reorientation.
Of the people?
Of the police.
Okay.
Reorientation of the police, then general security awareness for the public. Because the police have been treating us in the way they've been treating us, the Nigerian citizens have also developed a perception for the police. And then, of course, there is one thing I need to say here right now. The Nigerian public are very lawless. We don't like obeying laws. Maybe because it's our country. Because I know when you go to travel in Murtala Mohammed Airport, you find people struggling and doing all kinds of things until we get down. Either you get into London and then everybody falls in line. You know, people that have been struggling and trying to force themselves into the security area, now when they come, they are in line. And sometimes I look at them. Yeah, they are not trying to jump the line or anything. And I laugh. I said, look at him. You know, so these are the kinds of things.
Maybe we should employ white policemen or something.
No way, no way, no way, no way.
Let's take Udo's call from Makodi. Good morning, Udo. Udo, are you there?
I'm still there, yeah.
All right, please go ahead with your contribution.
Yes, I want to say that. The issue of security, not only security, issue of the country generally is laughable.
Laughable.
Yes, what I'm saying is that everything about the country is really laughable. It's laughable because we have not taken security seriously. I was listening to the Deputy Senate leader this morning, and he was talking about the president. The legislatures are not doing anything regarding security. The state governments are not doing anything about security. So everything about the country is something that is very, very laughable. We have to take things seriously. Security issue is a very serious issue that we have not put into. Look at the issue of the bandits. Look at the issue of Boko Haram. And nobody is standing up to do that which is right. Until we start addressing all these issues, this nation will remain as it is.
All right. Thank you very much, Udo, for your contribution. You know, I think I was driving during the weekend, and then I had a policeman, it was a policewoman, you know, telling a bus driver, use your seatbelt. I was impressed. In fact, it sounded very strange.
Yeah.
Because the norm would be park, you know, and then you are arrested. And then it dawned on me that is the kind of relationship
that's the kind of police we want.
That we want.
Yes.
So how do we get more of that? And then I'm also hoping that, because now when you see security people overtly nice to you, you know, in your subconscious you're thinking, I want to ask for something.
But you know, no, that's not it. I think it's the result of the NSAS. You know, the NSAS taught two things. It taught Nigerians that we cannot do without the police.
Absolutely.
It taught Nigerians that we cannot do without the police. And it taught the police that they have to be nice to Nigerians. Because Nigerians keeping quiet for so long, you are profiling them wrongly and all those kind of things, dealing with them, you know, has caused this problem. So you have to be careful. I think their leaders have also talked to them, you know. So there is mutual respect now between the police and the citizens, you know. Some of them have been nice all along anyway. I was in an occasion where the DPO for Aswani, a lady DPO, was given an award, you know, and what was the award for? When the NSAS people came down there to bond our station, it was the local people that came out and said, no, you can't do that. You know, and that
given the experience of her that they had.
Yeah, it may be the kind of experience or the way she has been handling cases with them. So they like her. You know, and that's what we need, a citizen-friendly police, you know. So that's what we are shooting for.
Let's talk about kidnapping just before we leave, because in addition to armed robbery, there were a couple of them in Ondo. I think there was a case that was reported in Lagos some months ago. Okay, let's take Olugbenga's call. Before that, he has called in from Badagry. Good morning, Olugbenga.
Yeah, good morning. Olugbenga is my name.
All right.
Nice speaking with you. I just want to contribute to the issue of the security in Lagos State. I want to say precisely, the insecurity in Lagos State is not before the NSAS program. Or let me say it's before the NSAS program, not after the NSAS program. If you go to my site at where it stays in Bariga, Oworo, the issue of security there is alarming. You cannot predict when you want to go in your house. You may be coming from somewhere and you just hear that something's happening within your house, and you can't go in. I think the Lagos State need to stand up for this insecurity in Lagos State, and things need to be stopped. The presenter was saying something before, that you are being attacked at Oshodi. Yes, that is regular. It is not just now. It has started before instance. Not that the police people were shocked about this issue. They know what to do. They are just not doing anything there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Perhaps the biggest opportunity for any government is to hear from its people. So I'm sure that government officials are watching this show. Perhaps someone close to the governor or even the police boss can identify what the challenges are for the people. So we're talking about kidnapping, and then I just want you to tell us what Nigerians can do. Because we've spent so much time talking about what government should do, what security officials should do. But we see a situation where if you are kidnapped now, it will be a miracle for you not to pay ransom. You know, the official statement will be, oh, no ransom was paid. But if you go and interview the guy, he will tell you how much he has to pay. I mean, that he had to pay. So it's you tied, and then how do you keep yourself safe? First of all, you will try and prevent kidnapping from happening. And how do you do that? You must be security conscious. When we say security conscious, it means that you should know your environment. Situational awareness. Situational awareness in the sense that, you should know what is happening to you. You are driving from Ikeja here to Surulere. And some people are asleep throughout the journey. You don't know who has been following you as you left the gate here. You don't know who joined that movement. And then, of course, you're going with them until you reach wherever you're going. Every day, we want people to defer their routes. Wherever they are going, don't be predictable. Don't be predictable. Do things in such a way that make sure that you have this in mind, that somebody is actually following you. That's right. Because for you to be kidnapped, they must study you. They just don't come out of the gate. You have to pay attention to what's happening around. To pay attention. And if you are kidnapped, if you cannot avoid it and you are kidnapped, then please obey whatever they say. But one, don't negotiate with them for your own release. Other people will do it. Don't negotiate. Number two, don't try to, have a Stockholm syndrome by starting to support them and say, oh, yeah, okay, what you're doing is good. We're going to do it. Sometimes they might think you're joking and they might kill you. But there are a lot of things that could be done by the individual to avoid. I'm sorry, we have to go now. Yeah. But I got that. Don't be James Bond. Exactly. But also pray that you will not be kidnapped, because we've heard the president say God has to intervene in some part of the security challenges. Dennis Amakri, former Assistant Director, State Security Service. I forgot the MON. Yes, thank you so much for coming. Compliment to the season. Thank you for having me. A big thank you to you two for watching. We'll be back tomorrow, God willing, with another exciting one. I am Nifemi Ogutoye. See you again.
At TVC News, wherever big news stories happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.